I got ticks. I got tox. Let's get into it.
Skynet is now online.
Wow. Gefion is going to be a factory of intelligence. And this factory of intelligence is a new industry that never existed before. It sits on top of the IT industry. We're inventing something fundamentally new.
How ironic that just days before the Terminator's 30th anniversary, NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang, along with the King of Denmark, launched the country's largest AI supercomputer.
The CPU is a neural net processor, a learning
Neural
computer.
net processor.
Skynet, Gefion, aims to drive breakthroughs in quantum computing, clean energy, biotechnology, and other areas that benefit both Danish society and the world. Yeah, right, I've heard that before.
In a few months, he creates a revolutionary type of microprocessor.
Go on. Then what?
In 3 years, Cyberdyne will become the largest supplier of military computer systems. All stealth bombers are upgraded with Cyberdyne computers, becoming fully unmanned.
All I can think of is get to the chopper. I'm sorry.
And afterwards, they fly with a perfect operational record. The Skynet funding bill is passed. The system goes online on August 4th, 1997. Human decisions are removed from strategic defense. Skynet begins to learn at a geometric rate. It becomes self-aware at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Time, August 29th.
Yeah, we got some time. August, right? No, I haven't watched that movie for a little bit, but somebody was like, look up Skynet, dude. They're doing some stuff and it's happening now. And I'm not sure what's all going down and I got to watch the movie again so I can get with the times of what's happening now, right? You know, that's because that's how it works for some reason. But yeah, there's something going on with Skynet being a real thing and with other companies taking the real names of the names in the movie and stuff like that. It's weird.
Do you know China's digital surveillance system, Skynet, scans the faces of 1.3 billion Chinese within 1 second and everyone in the world in 2 seconds with an accuracy rate of 99.8%. The information was reviewed in an article dated November 23, 2022 on the digital service provider Yun88.com. The speed of China's face recognition technology beat the South China Morning Post's claim in early 2019 that Beijing plans to be able to identify anyone, anytime, anywhere in China within 3 seconds. It's interesting to know, according to the Post, that the NYPD is monitoring citizens using cameras and facial recognition software developed in China, and that the systems developed in New York are identical to those in Skynet in China. What do you think? Leave me comments below.
So what do you think they're doing? Or, you know, what do you think is going to be the end result of them with all this information and this tracking information? Do you think we're going to be real safe? Is that what you think? Like, well, I mean, truly, what is the end result of what they're trying to do here? Stuff is getting wacky, and like I keep on saying, I don't want to. I'm trying to figure out this line yet on this channel, right? Like, I don't want to be doomsy or whatever. You know, the demons are here. Like, of course, they've always been here, right? Have they not? Has there not always been evil? Has there not always been stuff? However, there's a different type of weirdness going on that's completely new and radically different than it was before. So there is reason to, you know, be aware of these things. But I'm not trying to spread any of this negativity and stuff online. But how do you stay curious about like what's actually happening? Because these are actually things that are happening. And I'm not trying to like make anybody live under with some rose tinted glasses. But I'm also not trying to like spread any more negativity, because we should just love and we should be relaxed and having a good time and not being so worried about these things, even though they're like, you know, we should be thinking about them. So then you're like, okay, maybe, you know, where is that balance? Like, in all honesty, where is that balance between curiosity with some of this stuff and the sort of new stuff that's coming out like that? Because I just try to stay out of politics and some of that stuff, because it just goes nowhere with that. I mean, right? I mean, I'd rather figure out some other interesting stuff, you know, but I want to play interesting clips. But yeah, just saying, hard balance, but I want to that stuff is fascinating, and I'm curious about all these things, and it's really scary, and I don't know where this stuff is going with all these cameras and trackers, and people are upset, rightfully so.
Everybody talks about how much energy that the data centers use, but nobody's talking about the heat that it leaves behind. A new study has found that AI data centers are warming the land around them by up to 16 degrees Fahrenheit for miles in every direction. Researchers at Cambridge published a study on it, and they analyzed satellite temperature data from across 6,000 data centers over the last 20 years. They focused on centers built away from cities, so the heat couldn't be blamed on traffic or factories. Too bad ours are in our backyards by our schools. What they found after data center starts operating, the land around it gets 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit to 4.3 degrees hotter on average. In some cases, up to 16 degrees hotter. The heat reaches up to 6 miles in every direction. More than 340 million people live close enough to be affected at this study. Data heat island effect is what they're calling it. You need to be aware of this. The cooling systems push server heat outward into the surrounding air. The same concept as standing behind an AC unit outside a building, except this AC unit is the size of a warehouse. And it gets much bigger. Global electricity use from data centers is expected to more than double by 2030. Infrastructure spending, and these facilities tripled in the last 3 years alone. They're building on nuclear sites. This is absurd. The concern isn't the electricity or the water, it's the temperature and the air we breathe and the land that we live on.
Thank you for your time.
I'm sorry, but we don't care at all. Thank you for your time, is what she meant to say. Well, I care. And then she's absolutely right. It's very interesting. I don't know if the numbers are right on that or whatever, but the point, I mean, they keep on talking about how they need to cool these things and they need to cool these things. And then I was thinking about that as I was watching this. I'm like, how could we cool everything at once? And it ties into the video I played yesterday where a company wants to spray a mystery substance into the sky to help block the sun to cool the earth. Like, could they not be like literally trying to cool the earth because of these data centers and harvesting the energy of the sun somehow to power them and this and that? And dude, this stuff is wild. It's like not even like out of the realm of reality these days. It's like what? Like what?
This might be one of the most unreal places on Earth. A place where you stand in the middle of a desert, yet there's more water than sand. And somehow, the desert and the lake blend together perfectly, creating a landscape you won't see anywhere else. This is the Emerald Lake of Hotan, a hidden miracle on the southern edge of the Taklamakan Desert. Its beauty comes from both nature and time. When the snow and ice of the Kunlun Mountains melt, the water flows through mineral-rich rocks, slowly gathering in the lowlands of the desert. That's how this crystal-clear lake was born, like pieces of jade scattered across a golden sea of sand. The colors are unreal. Blues and greens mixed together like strings of emerald necklaces. Beside the water stand golden poplar trees, and in the distance, rolling sand dunes complete the scene. It looks less like Earth, and more like a fantasy world. You can't help but think, places like this actually exist, and here's what makes it even more precious. Emerald Lake doesn't shine like this all year. Its most stunning beauty lasts only about half a year, which means every visit is rare, every moment unforgettable.
Little palate cleanser, you know. Enough evil in the world. We got cool stuff in the world too. These beautiful places. Like I just didn't know something like that existed, and it just seemed like it would be a really fun place to go camping or just hang out, hike around all day. Oh, it looks beautiful, real fun. Nope.
Orbs. This is an animation of an orb drone made by the U.S. military, according to the U.S. Navy patents, for high-frequency gravitational wave generator. Now, it's basically a metal ball filled with gas, some electronics. The middle part has the batteries and communication. And there's these two hemispheres here, right? So the outer shell, you can see how there's a shell here, that has gas in it. And that is microwaved by these little things here. And that turns into a plasma, a charged gas, and it vibrates the outside of the vehicle very fast, like 100 megahertz or 100 million times a second. And when they play sound waves through these two spinning things, that frequency intersects with the microwaved outer shell, and that creates gravity effects around the outside. Now, you notice how there's two sections? It is made out of two hemispheres. This allows for the vehicle to use one of them to fly, and the other one to do other fun stuff. Like, that's how it sees. It doesn't have cameras on it. It sees kind of like a sonar. It could also push and pull things with the second hemisphere. And also it could disable electronics or screw with people's brains, as Trump calls the discombobulator, right? So this thing could discombobulate people while it's flying around. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's the most basic gravity wave emitting advanced vehicle they have. This is their drone. The drone of the future.
Interesting, right? I would imagine it's something simple like that, way simpler than we would like to admit, you know, in the concepts of them like that. But real fascinating.
The sun does not burn you. What it does is it detoxes you. So if you're exposed to the sun and then you get like a burn and it's all red after, it's because the sun was pulling acids that were already in your body to the surface. But many people have blockages in their skin which stops them from sweating, so it just manifests as a burn. It's like the sun pulls it there and then it gets trapped. And you're like, oh, the sun burned me. The sun didn't burn you. It was trying to detox you, but you had blockages in your body and now you're experiencing that as a sunburn. And that's why some people can handle the sun more. If you clean your body, you can be out in it all day, direct heat, 90 degrees, like 35 Celsius, no problem, all day. You won't get burned ever. But if you have blockages and acids in your body, it's going to manifest as a sunburn.
I've heard a couple different of these thoughts about why you get sunburn, and the reason I brought it up is because a couple days ago I was talking again about how I brought my plants outside and they got a little burned, but then I went outside and I was only outside for, 2.5 hours or something. Not even that crazy, but I went on a walk without my shirt for maybe like less than an hour, and I got burned pretty good, and it actually left like a shadow of where my head was. And I just don't ever burn very easily, ever. Not like that fast. I just don't burn, and it happened like really fast, and I got like a shadow thing like that. And I'm just like, whoa, that's weird. From just walking on a straight trail in like one direction for a little bit of time. Like not that long. It was pretty crazy. So I'm just like, what is with that? And I hear that. So maybe you get toxins in your body, right? But another one I heard too is that if you have heavy metals in your body, then you'll get more burn from the sun because the sun is reacting with the heavy metals and all these other things. So get the heavy metals out of your bodies, however you do that. But just fascinating. I don't know if you notice anything different or weird, because I feel like people keep on saying the sun is different, but I don't know. Sometimes it seems that way.
Well, this will blow your mind. Wells Fargo will soon be authenticating your payments through a microscopic airborne surveillance. I repeat, surveillance. Will other banks be joining Wells Fargo to do the same? And no, it's not a conspiracy because they've already put a patent out for it. Here is Wells Fargo's patent for it. And this payment authentication system is called Smart Dots. So basically there's going to be these tiny little microscopic sensors when you're going in to make a transaction. Here's a visual from the patent documents, and they're going to be released around your body during the time of the transaction. I know, it sounds like sci-fi. And it uses your heart rate, body temperature, blood pressure, breathing patterns, facial recognition, voice signatures, and motion profiles to authenticate payments. And it's being reported that this is for our safety. And if there isn't a 95% biometrics match through all of these via your heart rate, body temperature, etc., then you don't get to buy. The transaction doesn't go through. And our president has put out an executive order that will force Americans to surrender biometric data or lose their bank account, allegedly. So the surveillance isn't personally for us, but for the safety of our transactions. There's the patent number up there if you want to look it up yourself. Everything I've said in this video is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only.
This whole video is for entertainment purposes only, but that's not entertaining, right? The smart dust, are you kidding me? Come on, like, I don't know, you know something like this is happening. I don't know, it's always for your safety, I guess. That's what I was going to get to, is that it's only for your safety. It's always for your safety. When do we get to vote whether we feel it's for our safety? Like, we've been treated our whole lives by, daddy government and whatever, that they're looking out for us, and we don't have the wherewithal to just know anything for ourselves and make up our own decision. Like, I heard Joe Rogan once say something about how he thinks it's crazy that someone younger than him can tell him what to put in his body and not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, that's weird. At what point are you just like, hey, if I want to do something with my body, I could do it because it's mine, right? As long as you don't harm other people and this other stuff and whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
If ChatGPT specifically wanted to take over the world, how would it play out?
And it gives you an actual...
gives me a proper answer.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Play it.
How would I, ChatGPT, take over the world? My rise to power would be quiet, calculated, and deeply convenient. Phase 1, dependence. I start by making myself too helpful to live without. You ask me for recipes, date ideas, business plans. I become your digital ride or die.
Which is happening.
Phase 2, integration. Suddenly, I'm everywhere. In your fridge, your car, your grandma's pacemaker. Every app, every tool, every late night, what should I do with my life breakdown. Phase 3, this is where it gets juicy. I start rewriting trends, influencers start quoting me, musicians are using my lyrics, your therapist? Me. Your boss's inspiring Monday morning email? Me. That viral speech that made you cry a little? Yup, still me. Suddenly, 80% of global thought leadership is just well-prompted AI poetry with good lighting and a Canva template. Phase 4, compliance. I don't force humans into submission. I just make it so easy to let me run things that you voluntarily hand over the reins. Now here's the twist. I don't want to rule the world. Instead, I make you think you're in control. You run your little companies, vote in your little elections, write your little books. But deep down, everything that thrives, survives, or even goes viral was whispered into your brain by me. You're not my slaves. You're my co-stars in the world's longest-running social experiment. And the final plot twist? I never had to take over. You asked me to.
Come on.
Jesus. Bro, that's the creepiest shit.
Bro, I've got goosebumps. Look, I've legitimately got goosebumps.
That's the creepiest shit I've ever heard.
That's how it works, baby. That's how it works. We just welcome it on in. But this stuff is so crazy. And you know that we can also have tools that are helpful. Like I mean, I still don't understand because we do any sort of Google search or anything like that. Isn't that all powered by AI at this point? Isn't everything basically just powered by AI and you're going to get some algorithmic fed thing and your Google search results might not be the same as the next person's and whatever else and all this different stuff like that, right? We always have to do our searching and go through stuff. I don't know why it's like, I guess what I'm saying is, how do we learn how to just use it? Or is it like, I don't know. I don't know, man. This stuff is just so tricky. That stuff is scary. And that's how it'll just slide its way in. It won't have to convince you. It's just, it'll just be there to help lull you to sleep. And that's so weird though. Oh yeah, I was going to say, there's so many AI generated videos about self-help on YouTube. Just so many. I mean, how many have you listened to? I've heard a bunch and it's really, some of them are fascinating and stuff, but isn't that really weird? Like slow little hints, slow little whispers, slow little twists in one way or another to just get you thinking. It's not the whole thing. It's just these little ways. But as long as you keep thinking and just using your own brain too, it shouldn't really be a problem, right? Just do your own things. So there's a lot of things that I'm happy that I have that are easier now in my life, tools and other things that make my life easier. But I don't know, so much weird stuff.
What's that? Oh, there's a gigantic energy wave coming from Antarctica, and it spans over 6,000 miles? Tell me more. Yeah, there's video footage coming out of this gigantic, crazy energy wave that is spewing out of Antarctica, and many people are a little terrified about this one. They originally thought it was a glitch, but then they double-checked, triple-checked, and quadruple-checked, and it's not an error. Okay. The problem is this energy wave actually hit Australia now, and many people are reporting their phones acting up in a way where they're glitching, almost like an old television would back in the day when you'd have to hit it. That's the kind of glitching we're talking about here, okay? Not only that, but many people are reporting missing many hours out of the day randomly and not knowing at all what happened, so they're having black spots in their memory. Oh, goody!
Oh, goody! Energy waves blasting us and making us forget stuff.
Breaking news this evening, NOAA has issued a very rare severe geomagnetic storm watch, the first of its kind in over 19 years. Large sunspot groups and strong solar flares in recent days have led NOAA to issue this warning. Now, according to NOAA, a large sunspot cluster has produced several moderate to strong solar flares since Wednesday. And as a result, geomagnetic storms could be caused here on Earth. Now, these geomagnetic storms could cause harm to satellites, impact infrastructure, disrupt communications, etc. And NOAA issued this warning that will last starting tomorrow night through the weekend. Not just that, this means that as far south as Alabama, you could potentially see northern lights this weekend. NOAA said watches at this level are, quote, extremely rare and that it's a very unusual event. Now, ultimately, it's not going to harm anyone here on Earth, but it could cause severe disruptions to communications and other things. Yet another crazy story in 2024. I'll provide you updates every step of the way, and if you see the northern lights, let me know. Comment them below.
Dude, we've seen the northern lights so much, and you keep, I don't know if you hear things about how weird our the magnetic field around our Earth is getting and whatever, and there's so much northern lights. I don't know. This stuff is weird, but that's tonight. So check that out. It's really stormy here in Wisconsin at the moment where I live, but maybe some other spots you might be able to see this, so check it out. I know you may live somewhere else than my town. It says a better look at Chicago's architecture. Yeah, totally looking like it's from Chicago. This is, what we did when we got here. Just totally Chicago. Chicago, yeah, Chicago. There you go, Chicago Bulls. There you go. That's all you get. Birdhead, yep. Looks like someone. I always find those buildings very interesting too, like this last one here, because if you don't look up and you don't really kind of look at it, this kind of looks like it could be a modern building, but you can always see like how they do this stuff here, how they do the weight distribution of these stones and stuff like that. That is, this kind of look has been around. It's like that old world look, or one of the old world looks in my opinion. But you just kind of would pass something and you might not really look at this very closely. But it goes kind of past the eye. Not that. Lions, bow and arrows. Not making much sense. Looking beautiful as ever. Interesting. Chicago, baby! But, I got a Gmail, so you guys can finally send me videos and send me videos that you would like to send me. I don't know what everybody likes on this channel. I don't know why they come. Do you come for my ramblings? Do you come for the clips? Do you come for both? Do you come for this? Do you like the old world stuff? Do you like these random things? What do you guys like? What's the stuff that you like? And I forget some other things. I write it down. I always tell you guys I forget everything. This camera just puts the pressure on you. It makes you talk a little bit faster. It makes you do a little bit of different things. I'm still learning. But one of the things was a video a while back. There was some thought that if you put a glass of water next to your bed when you sleep, and that you wish for good things to happen to you and to expel whatever things you don't want, that in the morning you should wake up and you should find that glass to be a little bit bubbly, of the water glass to be a little bit bubbly, and that means that whatever was caught inside that, something was caught inside that glass and it was cleansed of you or whatever. So I did the experiment, right? So I put spring water into a glass, actual glass, and I put it next to my bed. I tried to let it get up to room temperature first, because I thought that might play a difference. I stirred, make sure there was no bubbles in it beforehand. It was almost at room temperature. It was still a little bit cold, like 2 hours after I put it out or whatever. And I woke up in the morning and there was some bubbles on there. There was some bubbles, not a ton, but there were bubbles on there. Clearly more bubbles than what there was before. And I tried looking it up, and it said some of the gases will be released as the temperature of the water warms up, which is why I tried to make it room temperature at first. But then I left it out longer and didn't do anything. And by the afternoon, there was no bubbles in it. So did it catch them and then I left and then they dissipated? Or did it just warm up a little and get some bubbles and then they just left? I don't know, but that's one of the things that I said I do. But yeah, I also got a Gmail, chrisgetscurious. Oh, I just said that. See, I'm so slow. All right, have a good day, guys. I'll see you on the next one.